Is this your front lever? It's actually more common than what you think, and I'm going to show you how to fix it as you start your front lever training. So before we look at any of this fixing of a full front lever, we need to understand the technique and what we're going to do when we start our front lever. And it all starts down here on the floor from the very, very beginning, and it follows all the way through to full front lever. First thing is our shoulders. Push them down into what we call depression, and that's where you'll feel your lat engagement. We want to try to retract the shoulders. We simply want to pull the shoulder blades down to avoid gravity pulling our shoulders into protraction. We want to crunch our abs and holding that top contraction here as strong as possible. With the lower body, this is an overlooked feature of the basic front lever positions, is pulling the heels to the butt. So we have that hamstring engagement and we're trying to tuck tight. From here, as we progress, we start to open up that tuck and we move to, when it's a 90-degree angle, we call that an advanced tuck. When we go beyond that 90, it's an open tuck. And when we are completely open in our hip angle, it's a half lay position. Full tuck all the way to half lay have in common the ab engagement and the hamstring engagement does not change one bit. What can happen when people extend is they let go of the abs and extend through the back, or as they open up, their feet leave, making the lever longer than what it should be at that progression point. Have all those things in mind at your very beginning stages of front lever training. My neck needs a break. Now that we have that understanding of the technique, what progressions do we take to get to that full front lever? There's two ways you can approach this. The first one is going to be just continuing to extend your tuck from the tight tuck all the way to your half lay position. But what hasn't changed that whole time was I kept hamstring engagement and I kept abdominal engagement. Completely speed running the progressions, I would look at it in stages of tuck, advanced tuck, open tuck, half lay over a longer time of programming. The other option, which people tend to go for, and this can be more appropriate to fixing that pike position in your front lever, is one leg variations. Maybe get a little bit further back as well, because I really want you to see the pike on this. This is gonna be a nasty pike. If I go from my very first tuck positions to extending the leg out, this is where you're going to run into the problem of a pike. See how the hips, the butt is way lower, or the foot is much higher? And if that's where we go and we just keep trying to progress, we're never going to be achieving the position that we want. Why? Why, Tyson? Why? All that technique that I piled on top of you at the start is missing one thing, and that's glute activation. As the hip stretches or opens, the glute is shortening and contracting. You don't feel that when you do the tuck. You don't feel it when you advance tuck. You don't even feel it when you open tuck. But it's only truly in the half lay, if you're doing those positions, that you start to understand what the glute activation feels like. And that's somewhat of a problem. So if you're doing a one leg, you would opt to go initially a full tuck with the hips open. You would then progress to having the ankle of the bent leg to the knee. You would then go to the shin, you would then go to the ankle, and then you would then have your full front lever. Best way to approach this, I think, is to go step 1, tuck front lever. Step 2, progress to the ability to hold an advanced tuck front lever for 10 seconds. Is he actually going to do the 10? Yeah. Step 3, experiment with one leg bent and one leg straight to practice glute tension to open up the hip. From there, playing around with the variation of negatives, holds, you can start to challenge that position, challenge to hold it, but being successful. So you're ingraining that movement pattern of glute tension to open hip. Who's this? Who's this? Oh. A lot of people use a band for their front lever work, and even though I have nothing against bands, they're a great tool. Using a band too early is also just going to negate your access to practicing glute tension, leading to open hip. Oh, this is going to help me so much. When I am given the full front lever, due to how helpful the band is, you're still going to see people holding a position like that because that's all the tuck so far has trained for them. So the band is only useful if you're already understanding that intention. Awesome programs available in the description. See you guys for the next one. I think you would be able to do a variation of a tight tuck and a straight leg. I'll do B-roll for that. That was just awful. This is the quality of my content, guys. This is your front lever.